Alright, welcome to episode number 21 of TooShyToChat plays the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. I've just waken up. It's my second day off from work, which I took because of the international finals. Congratulations for newbie who won $5 million from a Dota 2 tournament. It's a great day for esports. The tournament was what comes to a prize pool, it was larger than US Open in tennis, which is quite impressive. Most of the $11 million prize pool, or almost all of it, 9.5 million of it came from community. So basically people buying international compendium for $10 and maybe buying some levels into it. Contributed almost $10 million to the prize pool of a Dota 2 tournament. So that's the strength of community. They newbie won VG, two Chinese teams in the final 3-1. Sorry for the spoilers, and won the whole thing. However, we are going to focus on the Mighty Quests. I managed to be promoted to Captain 1 League yesterday, and I actually won the Captain 2 League, so I got 45 blinks for it. So I only need to attack one bling castle to break the 400 bling limit. So if you're playing this game actively, it is possible also to earn blings without buying them. Of course, I have nothing against supporting the game, but I sort of like to run this as tests, how well you can play this game without buying. Is this game pay to win, or is this game free to play? And even though it has some pay to win elements into it, like Flameo or the stronger barricades, we can safely say that the game in itself is free to play, and you can do just as well without using a dime on it. I'm also still doing pretty okay in some of the competitions. I'm actually still wearing my competitions build, so I'm gonna change it before using my first target attack on Troy 1. I'm currently third one in the newest Summerlord Marleybone competition. I have to give some critique towards this one, as it's if you want to run a good time, you need a good computer. Mine's not good, so when I run it, it lags like absolute crazy. I might actually, before attacking Troy and before changing my build, I might actually show how this is done. At least how I have reached the third position at the moment. And it involves, I'm not using my best gear, as my best gear protects me a little bit too much. So it actually involves dying. And I'm using also the hawk skill. I've already failed. Probably not going to be even close to my best time. But my game plan involves oh, went the wrong direction even. involves dying in this, like on purpose, because that will reset the cooldowns of my skills. But as you can see, the lag is crazy. I couldn't even get my volley off.
You guys are pathetic. Just try to stop me.
So not even close this time.
This? It's only a scratch.
I actually died twice. But that's the general idea. You rush to the end, you use all your skills, you die on purpose, and you use all your skills again. That's how I managed to do 112. So I'm still 3 seconds behind the leader. I might give it a try as the castle still has. How many hours do we have left? 11 hours before it finishes. So I do believe I could reach this time if everything goes correctly with my run. But yeah, I'm sort of testing the hawk skill because it surprisingly well works with high crowds and combined to you running forward. So the area the hawk covers is much larger. So I sort of like I did do this time with the hawk build, uh, and I was actually second when I logged out yesterday. But Empty Crazy Orc seems to have beaten my time for now. But I'm not gonna give it another go now. When it comes to other competitions, I'm second, but I'm 4 seconds behind Archer 4, which is quite huge. I'm not sure how he does his runs, but that's really impressive times he's able to get. I also tried my Hawk build here, but it didn't seem to work so well. Big Brothers is almost same as Something Wicked. I'm second with Archer 4 seconds in front of me. Ramification, I haven't run it with this build yet. I'm not sure how I could do those times, but I might give it another go later on. We'll see about that. Fortunately, I'm still leading my Bravur Blazing Tower, and I'm still pretty confident with the time I have there now, as I've never done better time, to my knowledge at least. Alright, but let's change my items around. I think I'm gonna take it safe. This is more high damage build. I actually tried the competitions with the mana regeneration, and it seems to work pretty well. I don't really run out of mana that easy, or it comes back so fast. I basically get mana to roll every 3 seconds, as with this one my mana regeneration goes to 5 per second. So, and the roll is 15 mana, so 3 seconds, and I have a new roll when I'm using that build. Something is definitely off here. Probably I have wrong. Yeah, I have wrong hat on. It's still the mana hat on, plus mana steal as well. So every time I attack, I get some mana. All right. So this looks a little bit more normal. It's a very HP based build, but it's also quite safe. I do like my DPS items as well, but yeah, let's check the Troy's Castle with a little bit survivable build this time. Alright, looks like he has pretty good timer. Let's see who he used to validate it. It's hard to say, he has all the characters in level 30. Based on time, I would guess that it's either archer or mage. If we quickly look at the stats, it's hard to say. His gear is not too good with any one of them, so I can't really base my guess on which one he has used to validate it. The Mumbo being the courier does indicate that it could be the knight, but on the other hand, he seems to have also the newest Notorious Squid on Archer and so on. So yeah, I'm not gonna take a guess. The timer sounds like it would be a Archer or Mage, because it's easiest to make good times with those. And Troy seems to have the new theme as well, which is pretty cool. And he protects his mines already with barricades, so they can't be shot from far behind. Also, I got one extra tick there, just because of the barricades. So that's one usage. You can use them to make people take one extra tick. Oh, here I got multiple ticks this time. But other than that, it seems to be quite normal spike trap tunnel. I'm not doing a very good job in avoiding damage this time. So same thing here. He, basically, without these barricades, I could have sniped it already from further away, so it works out nice for him. Here we seem to have our first... Oh, I forgot to change my skills, so I don't have headshots. And I also have Hawk, so these might not end well. I don't know how to play with these, like actually play with these skills. So I might try to just survive this. Indeed, I forgot the wrong build on again. I tend to do it quite often. Oh yeah, and again, I don't have headshot. I would have... I could have sniped those mines from a little bit from a distance. So my only goal now is to survive and not lose crowns. But Spike Tunnel is pretty well done. There's pressure everywhere. And as I said, the timer is pretty good. If you take it easy like I have done this far, you will take damage and not win the timer. But yeah, as you can see, I don't really use my Hawk or even a spiraling shot, even though I definitely should. Oh yeah, and I don't even have bear traps. This spot seems safe, is it? Yeah, looks like this ballista actually hits the pillar instead, so I can relax here a bit and at least have a look which skills do I have equipped for this attack. I'm not saying that my skills are bad. I'm just saying that I'm not used to them.
The bigger they are. Say goodnight,
And then we
mister.
have Flamio in the end. I don't know where that Flamio actually went. I do notice that the link, the Flamio is just gone. That's interesting. It must be here somewhere. It is there, but it did allow me to. I could have just
Forecast calls for arrow showers. Ah, my favorite flavor. Come here, tough guy. Say goodnight, mister.
I could have just finished,
The bigger they are.
and if I would have had headshot, I would have
That's more like it.
just killed those bling mines from further away. But I think it's more a bug. It's more a bug than a mistake in designing. Uh, I have seen that happening more often recently, so I think it's a rather new bug. Um, the castle itself, it's a really long spiked tunnel, so people have became pretty good avoiding damaging them. So if they're not going for 3 stars, it's not too hard to get to the end, and in the end there's only Flamio and those Defendatron and Roboshieldrons to take care of. So it might work, but if people rush, but if people take it easy, they will be able to finish this castle with uh, some ease. It's not so difficult to avoid those spike trap tunnels, and it was really long. It was one of the longest spike trap tunnels I've seen, and really well done. It was pressure almost everywhere, so it wasn't like you had all the time in the world to avoid the damage, but you actually had to know what you're doing. Even though I didn't do too good of a job doing it, I still managed to only use 2 potions, and I did have a skill build that I'm not accustomed of. So I would maybe remove some of that spiked trap tunnel and add more pressure in the boss room, as the Flamio itself, no matter how irritating he is to fight against and how many accidental kills he has managed to make to me, he does need support, otherwise he's rather squishy and can be killed with relative ease.